been a long 2 weeks for coaches being on the road recruiting, trying to prepare for a bowl game, talking to your guys on your team, and obviously recruiting. Then you come home off the road on Friday and you're right into recruiting weekend. So I think all the coaches are refreshed just to be here and be present with our guys, which we've had 2 Saturday practices prior to this, after being on the road, but had a really good day today, and happy with where we are. Really UCLA #1 today, even though we had some parts of it the last 2 Saturdays. So questions?
Pat, obviously you released a statement a couple hours ago on social media, but what does it say about your program to have this many guys considered for the NFL and being able to opt out for a bowl game and prepare for the next level?
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 a year ago. It's a great thing. I mean, those guys all, we wish those guys luck. They all have decisions to make. It tells you, they've gotten good reviews from their agents that they either signed with or will sign here in the next couple of days. And they're going to have opportunities at the next level. I mean, they want to set up and get ready for that pro day, for that combine, Senior Bowl, whatever it may be, that they've been invited to, and it's a good thing. We wish all those guys luck. We obviously wish they were playing, but that's their decision, and all I can do and all our staff can do is educate them on, hey, what we think, and they've got to make a decision what's best for them.
Matt, they've been holding the NFL draft since 1933, and they've held bowl games about the same amount of time. Why all of a sudden are there opt-outs now?
That's a great question. Why is there this thing called a transfer portal? Okay, it's all the same questions. I think it's the age we're living in. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, guys were given their left leg to go play in a bowl game. I don't think it's the case anymore. It's sad because I think the bowl games are so much fun. It's a reward for a great season. We're looking forward to going down to the Sun Bowl. It's a great bowl. We're excited. I'm excited. Our families are excited, and but it's kind of the world we're living in. Why, there's a lot of things we could say, like, why do they do this? Why do we do this? Why is the world like it is today? And I can't really answer that. Kids nowadays, they want to move on and go to the next thing. I mean, and it's a great thing. I want everybody to go. I mean, everybody wants to go to the NFL, okay? Except me, I don't want to go to the NFL, Jay. But everybody wants to go to the NFL. That's a lifelong dream of theirs, is to go do that. And sometimes some guys want to jump and do it too early. They just get all excited. I want to go train. I want to get to the next step, and it's okay. This team right here, the guys who are in this indoor today are worried about finishing the season the right way and try to go 5-0 in November or December.
There were a handful of guys who maybe were facing decisions. Jared, Haba, Elijah didn't announce anything today.
Yep.
Are you?
Yep.
I mean, do you read into that they're coming back?
I have all the answers. I can't tell you. That's not my decision to make. That's their decision when they want, timing-wise. So I can't tell you, Chris. Okay, we got more surprises for you. Okay.
How do you view it from a coaching standpoint? Is this an opportunity to look at a guy for next year, or do you reward a senior that's maybe been waiting and misses his chance?
It's a little bit of both, Jeff. I mean, it's a little bit of both. The number one thing we're going to do is try to win a football game. So it's not about 2023. Again, that was our focus today, was just finishing, and we're going to finish the season, and we're going to do whatever we can do to win the football game. At some positions, it means some young guys that haven't had a lot of reps get a chance. And there's some interesting talk out on the field last Saturday with one group that broke down that I won't share with you. But it was like, okay, I like that. I mean, it was just kind of like, hey, it's time for the new group to get going. And so I'm looking forward to it. You see some of these young guys are going to have opportunities. It is kind of pushing towards the next game. But, it depends on the position, it depends on the depth there. And again, it all depends on, we're going to do the best thing we can do to win a football game.
Who's your starting quarterback?
I don't know, Jay. We'll find out.
Is it?
It's a battle right now
Between Nate and Patty?
No question about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'd say, based on today's practice, again, we'll do a daily. But for today, Nick Patty was on fire today. So, for today, it's Nick Patty. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Pat, since the last time we spoke with you, obviously your starting quarterback this season entered the transfer portal. Just wondering if you have any comments on how that all went down and what the decision was with him.
I'm not going to comment individually about anybody. There's all, the only people that really know are the guys sitting in that office up there, and those are personal conversations that we've had with guys, and I'm to me, it's about the team. It's about those guys and what's best for them, and they have decisions just like guys are going to enter the draft and maybe not playing a bowl game. Everybody's got decisions to make, around the world and obviously in the football world, and I respect everybody's decisions, and again, there was obviously conversation back and forth with anybody, that's in that position, and we wish every one of those guys luck.
Pat, at the same time,
Keaton, I love Keaton. He's a great kid.
Right, but to Keaton specifically, you had been very kind of like supportive of him. Like every time we asked you about him, it was like, "This is my guy. I'm sticking with him. I like him." Does that make it more, difficult when you lose a guy like that you've been so?
It's life, and I'm going to support all our guys. Okay, I'm going to support all of them. I'm going to be positive, and like I just almost at the end there followed up to your question is I love Keaton. Keaton's a great kid and did a nice job for us. Helped us win 8 football games. So, and I believe at that point he was the best quarterback to lead our 2022 season, and we'll leave it at that.
When the season ended, Pat, were you looking for an upgraded quarterback for 23?
I'm looking for upgrades at every position. Okay, I'm looking at upgraded punter, at right tackle, left tackle, tailback. I mean, we're looking up. That's what we do. That's why we go on the road and recruit. And you're looking for constant upgrades at every position. So not necessarily at the quarterback position, but every position we want to get better. And there's going to be a battle every. Can't talk early recruiting, but there's going to be a battle, a competition at every position when we get to spring ball. Period. That's why we coach it. That's kind of what it is. Unless you got Kenny Pickett sitting in that room or Robert Baldonado right end, he's probably going to be the starting right end. So.
Is Brandon George going to play in the bowl game?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I can give you that scoop. That's not an injury. Brandon's good. He could have played against Miami, but Brandon played 3 games. And the 4th game will be this bowl game, so we've kind of saved for him. He's feeling great, and we're excited to have Brandon George back for sure. He's a guy we've been kind of waiting. He came back too early, got rolled up on. He could have been ready 6 weeks ago. We had him ready to go, and then all of a sudden, someone fell on him. So, but he's back healthy and fired up.
Pat, what do you like about Nick's makeup? Because he's been through, it's been an adventure for him in his time here, and. He thought coming off last year he might have a chance to be in the mix, and he was. He didn't get the shot. And he gets hurt against Tennessee, and he sort of hung around in there. I mean, I think a special kind of guy to kind of handle that.
It does.
Evolving role that he's had.
Nick is a tough guy. He's a competitor. The team loves Nick. The heater's on, and I have focus here. But Nick's a competitor, and I can't wait to see what he's got. Every day that he had today in practice, the next 2 weeks that we didn't out there in practice.
You're going to need young defensive ends, obviously, to step up next season, but you're going to see some of them, pass over. Who are you excited to see out there?
I guess you saw a little glimpse. His hop was banged up. We're still evaluating him. And, so Deion Hayes was out there in the Miami game. We saw what he can do, and he's still right here. We still can get him a lot better. He's going to be special. But when you look at the other guys, Bam's played, Chris Maloney's played. Some of the young guys, Jimmy Scott has done a great job on our scout team, as well as Sammy O. And those guys are probably going to miss somebody. Depth chart in front of me. There's probably one more they're missing. Those are some of the young guys that we're going to have an opportunity. Kai Johnson. Forget him. He's at the top there. So we're all going to have opportunities. We'll find out. It's a springboard into 23, especially that defensive end spot.
And even this bowl game as a chance to maybe showcase the depth that you guys have built, because you're not going to have so many guys that got you the success you've had the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I would use the showcase afterwards. I wouldn't say it's a showcase to go into it. We'll find out what it is. So it's a showcase or a no case. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's an opportunity for those guys to step up. It's the next man up, whether it's an injury or someone moving on to the National Football League. It's an opportunity.
Does that make it difficult? I mean, some people might not have watched you guys that much this season, and they're going to settle in on the 30th and watch you guys, and it's not going to be maybe the Pitt that we saw in November. Does that make it difficult as a coach?
It makes it difficult, but that's the world we're living in. I'm sure there's a few teams across the country that are the same way. It's a great opportunity for our kids to do what they need to do at the next level, and that's the way it is. I mean, bowl games are not really the whole 22 season. Last year our 2 best players didn't play. At least what they do, we win that game. Unfortunately, it goes down to my record, and I don't care. I'm not worried about records. I'm worried about winning football games, and that's all we can do. I mean, we almost won a year ago with the third quarterback, and it doesn't matter who steps up. We expect to go out and compete.
You talking about Eric Allen's really good.
What do you want me to talk about? DJ, is he going to play? At this point, Right now, at this point, right now, yes, he is. So.
Coach, there's been an influx of homegrown talent to the system via the transfer portal, and I know you not really cared for the transfer portal in the last couple of years, but how can you use that to your advantage?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't talk recruiting. You can't talk about any of those guys. I don't know. Wish I could give you a better answer.
But Wednesday, you should show up.
Wednesday, I'll give you all the answers you want. Today, I don't want to get in trouble. Someone got in trouble in the middle of the season. I don't know who it was. Got in trouble. Like, you can't get me.
Well, are you happy, though, that a guy like Phil Dracovic could be available to you? Yeah. You're right. Never mind.
Who? I don't even know that name.
Will you transfer guys sign?
He's a young guy.
Not just high school senior, transfer sign on Wednesday too?
We will have everybody that's in our class sign on the 21st.
Anything else?
Come on, it's been like a couple weeks, guys. You got some more.
Yeah, but you're not going to answer. So it's like
I will answer when I can. What do you mean? I've answered every question.
Needs law abiding.
Well, tell me what you want. Good, can't answer.
How are your young guys?
There we go.
How are your young guys taking the opportunity here to step up and show what they got?
They're fired up. Okay, let me just tell you, they're fired up. Everybody's looking for that opportunity. When you look at last year when all the linemen didn't come back, there was a lot of sad faces. Okay, this year there's a lot of happy faces at that position. So there's some guys that are excited that they're going to get to go out and play. It's a springboard, like I said, to the next season. So it's a great opportunity. And as coaches, that's what we look forward to. And then we'll be able to find out their strengths and weaknesses. They'll see it. We'll be able to use that as we go into the offseason.
On the other end of that, do you get the sense that the veteran guys who haven't opted out, do you get the sense that they're really excited to finish strong with one more game here in a Pitt uniform?
No doubt about it. If they don't, they can opt out too. There's a lot of excitement out here. And I will say, talking about opt-outs and all that stuff, for me, it's sad. Okay? For me, it's sad because you have senior day, and I've said this to the kids, like, it's something you don't know what's going to happen. Senior day, you're like, okay, this is the last home game, okay? The last game of the season, you go, okay, it's the last game of the season, but we got one more. And then I don't want to say you get blindsided or you get like surprised, I guess, like, really? And it's like you didn't get that last chance to give them a hug in the locker room after the game. That's what hurts me. It's like if you wanted to go out one more time. I wish I would have known before the Miami game. That's what you wish. But that's the way, And again, maybe they knew, but I didn't know. And you just like to go out the right way. So that's my regret is I didn't get a chance to have that last game feeling with those guys.
You mentioned the offensive line. What have you heard from Zabovic and Cradle to come back for an extra year? What those guys doing?
You know what? Again, I'm going to leave those personal conversations for them, and maybe EJ can get those guys to come out and make an announcement one way or another. I don't want to take their thunder. I think that those guys get to make that decision. I think it's a great question, Chris. I wish I could tell you, and I can tell you because I do know, but I don't want to say that for them. Okay, so I would imagine maybe tomorrow, maybe we'll talk to some of these guys you have questions about. Maybe we get them in here tomorrow if they're ready to make that decision, or if they're not ready to make that decision, then I got a 99.9% idea, but things can change, right? Things change daily. Guys have till the 18th of January to declare it for the NFL. They know that, I know that, and so I mean anything can change. I mean, you can feel one way today, kids can change their mind tomorrow. So I think it's best for those guys to tell you personally and not let me do that because that's not my job.
Good. Coach, thank you for your time. Thank you.